Thanks for joining me again. I really appreciate it. We are going through some of the questions that I ask on my new Bible study or reference guide or whatever it's called these days, that I can't wait for you to get your hands on. So today I want to talk to you about um, just a statement that's made in a portion of the study guide. And it reads, you cannot only acknowledge what he did, and that's Jesus. Of course, this whole document is about Jesus. You cannot only acknowledge what Jesus did without apprehending it and moving into him with your whole life. You cannot merely know who he is or was. Nope, that isn't enough. And then I wrote, read that again. So what I'm trying to say is, it isn't enough to just know who Jesus is or was. It isn't even enough to know that he's a king and a priest, or that he died on a cross, or he said it was finished. It isn't enough to know those things. Even if you put them all together, it isn't enough. What is enough is to change your life and move with him from now on. In other words, we cannot just recognize he was a man, or even if we recognize he is who he said he was, there's more. And the more is the action due on our part. Did you know Christianity had an action due on your part? You can't just say, I know who Jesus is, I'll go to heaven. Doesn't work like that. Jesus, the Lord God Almighty, is a just judge. Have you ever heard that? I had fun figuring out what that meant, which I can't wait to tell you. But for now, since I'm not here to do that, he is a just judge. And you showing up to the pearly gates or to heaven, holding your arrest warrant, or what was the other word last time we talked? Legal violation. So it depends on which translation you read. Old arrest warrant. You can't show up to heaven and show up in front of God with your old arrest warrant saying, well, I knew who your son was. Because if Jesus doesn't know who you are, if you're not moving with him, if you didn't get off the big wide path of the corrupt, evil, really path, and you didn't move into the narrow lane with him and walk with him from whatever day, even if it was yesterday forward, then it's not enough. I just wanted you to know that. I wish I could tell myself that a long time ago. It isn't enough just to know who Jesus is. You've got to get off the path you're on by changing your ways, changing your habits, and you move into new life. That's the new life part. You want to talk more about that later? We can talk more about that later. Meanwhile, thanks for coming back. I got more to share with you, so come back again.